Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this rather special show for Southwest Herts, which is about it's a theatre production that's coming to Watford Palace Theatre shortly, and I'm very excited because I've got the producer and owner of the production company actually with me here. So come and say hello, Amit.
Hello, everyone. Thanks very much for having me talk, Chris. Thank you.
So, Amit, you're coming to do a production. I heard about this in December, and I got very excited because the production is about social change in many respects, and obviously that's something that I'm rather passionate about. And this is an interesting production because it's called The Wedding. But what I thought would be really fascinating is if you could tell people a little bit about the inspiration behind this.
Sure, thank you. Well, first of all, it's taken 3 years to make the show. I really start with nothing more than a feeling, and from that feeling, I try to locate a metaphor, a seed idea, and that feeling was anger. Really, I felt very angry, and sort of disempowered in terms of where we seem to be heading, and I think that manifested itself into an idea that we are somehow in a marriage with the state, in wedlock, and with terms of a contract that we're not necessarily in control of, and so that's kind of where it started. It sort of started as this strange battle between anger and love and compassion, I suppose. The celebratory images of marriage and the wedding sort of conflating with this quite dystopian idea that we're all brides. But I think that as I've gone along, the anger and the call to arms feeling of the piece, which does culminate in a protest, really, actually, starts to move into a new place. And the last kind of third of the show really asks the question of ourselves: what is going to come of this? You know, once we've torn down, either within ourselves or around ourselves, the structures, the things that are sort of binding us down, where are we going to go? What are we going to do with that energy? And as I've kind of gone down that road, I've started to engage with the idea of social change, and I've started to engage with more and more people who have this incredibly infectious energy for positively moving forward. And these extraordinary, passionate conversations are going on everywhere about, social, economic, and environmental change. And it's changed me. It's completely changed me. I wasn't a vegan. I'm now a vegan. But no, it really has brought about a huge change in me, and I can't wait to get out there really and start a conversation with thousands of people.
It's a really interesting subject, this, because when you started this, you essentially put one foot in front of the other and began the journey. But it's almost like it's a huge adventure because we have no idea where this adventure is going, and we can't plan for it because it just changes every moment like a chameleon. It just never stays the same. But we know that we need and we ought to be having some kind of different thing going on than what we've got going on at the moment. It's really, I mean, I've been watching things for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years actually, and there's a lot of anger and a lot of people saying what we have isn't right. But it's just the most monumental task to say, well, what do we actually take this anger that we've got, this recognition that the system is failing, and how do we make it different then? What on earth do we do? Because it's a massive job, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a massive job. And I think what's both painful and heartening is that I find that people are it's very, very close to the surface. And I think that sense that people are ready, that they are ready to lurch quite seismically towards something else, towards something different. And I think I think it's up to us that are quick to get there, perhaps, to open up as many platforms as we can and listen and talk to people, because people want to connect with each other. They want to reach out, and they want to have meaningful community-based relationships. That there is an emotional need, I think, in people for that. It's not there at the moment in so much of modern living, and I think I for one, I go into these enormous theatres. You know, we tour around the country, we tour around the world, and I can see and feel the impact of the work, and also I can see and feel how people want to reach out to each other. So to try to find a meaningful way to take those next steps is it's possibly the most exciting opportunity I've ever had, really, as a theatre maker. You know, so it's very exciting. It's going to happen.
That's brilliant to hear. Well, I mean, one of the things that we had a little bit of a chat about earlier was the fact that actually this isn't aimed at a particular group of people necessarily, but what I've recognized is that what we have in the young people is a group of people who haven't got any baggage to get rid of. Now, if you take old people like me, for example, I've been brought up in a capitalistic, do better than my parents, go and get as much stuff as you can in your life type of role. That's the model that was put in front of us, and the one that we all charged after. But the people that have been born in 2000 onwards, they've been brought up in a society which had the creakings and the signs of cracks, and they're perhaps not quite as disenfranchised. They just know what we've got isn't what they want, and actually they're looking to do something, and creating that platform and maybe an interesting way for them to start to explore new ideas and things that perhaps they want to do is a fantastic opportunity that's just around the corner right now, because you've got it. Yeah,
I mean, I think that's brilliant and very true. And I think also I think there is a reality to the fact that some people don't they don't know that how much they're missing out on as well. I think that there is a con that's going on. There's a trick that's at play, and that is also, for the likes of you and me, desperately painful to see. Actually, it is that feeling that it's rigged, and I think. You know, the show elucidates that very, very powerfully, and I think young people are shocked by their own feelings when they experience the show. It's not necessarily something they were expecting to experience, and that's my job. My job is to sort of reimagine the world a little bit, and to create a space in which they sort of almost unwittingly input themselves into the show, and they see themselves in the show. And what I'm saying by that is that this is not I don't make stuff which is dictatorial, and it's not a play. There are 12 different languages being spoken in the show, none of which are supposed to be understood. It's not a play in that sense, but it is a narrative journey that you fall into, and it is very powerful and very strong. And I think that my job is to sort of try to awaken something, as well as it be an affirmation for those that are already there, of course. But you know, I have to feel that I can awaken something, you know, and make an epiphany happen, you know, there and then that night. That's part one. Part two is to get them in a room and talk about where we're going to go from here, you know.
So to sort of close off this, because I know you've got things to do. What's the format of the show coming to Watford look like? So when does it arrive? You talked about workshops. How can people engage with it? Where do they go? How do they buy tickets? What's the story? What do they do?
Great question. Thank you very much. Well, it's at Watford Palace Theatre, as you said before. It's Tuesday the 23rd is the first show, and then it runs 23rd, 24th, and 25th of January at Watford Palace Theatre. Yeah, and I think I'm right in saying the second show is a daytime show. I think it's a 2 o'clock show. We have a huge student following, so GCSE, A level. We're on the curriculums of those in schools around the country. So I think that's possibly why that is. But yeah, so it's an evening performance on the Tuesday and Thursday, and Wednesday, I believe, is a matinee.
Brilliant. And you mentioned a workshop. I believe is that on the Saturday, the 27th?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Let me double check that. I'm pretty sure it is. I think it is. Sorry, Chris. I think it is.
Well, I can check it up because I think it was sent to me. I can check it up.
I think it's 1 o'clock on Saturday the 27th.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to package this short video that we've done up with all the information, the details, and post it up on the community hub, and then engage the Palace Theatre and Watford Observer and all the other people on social media and get them to really start to push this out there, because it's a fantastic opportunity to open people's eyes to the fact they can do something, but also hopefully get people talking to each other, forming small groups, the things, like-minded people doing certain things, and then obviously to enable people to have almost like a platform where they can constantly feed into what they're doing.
Exactly that.
Magic. That's brilliant stuff. Well, look, thanks ever so much for talking to me. It's been something I've been looking forward to doing over Christmas, actually. Come the new year, talking to you. So I'll definitely be there. Looking forward to seeing the show and joining you and in the workshop as well. So
thank you so much, Chris. Thank you very much, and thanks to all your group and the hub there. Thanks a lot.
No, you're welcome. Okay, thanks very much, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye now.
Bye.